welcome back to my home kitchen and to another special Halloween edition of Kaylee in the Kitchen. Today we are not making one, but two Halloween themed snacks. We are going to be making some brownie and Oreo dirt pudding, and then we are making something a little savory. We are making these little mummy stuffed peppers. I'm so excited. Let's get started. We're going to start off by baking your favorite type of box brownie mix according to the package instructions. I'm just going to bake this in a shallow pan. We just want to cook the brownies and let them cool completely. We're going to end up crumbling them up for the layers of our dirt pudding. Next, we're going to combine 1 packet of chocolate instant pudding with 2 cups of cold milk. You can use any type of milk as long as it's cold. We're just going to dump it in a small bowl, and using a hand mixer or an electric mixer, we're going to whisk it for 2 minutes or until it's thick, and then we're just going to set it in the refrigerator to finish thickening. Next, we're going to prepare our Oreos, which kind of act as the dirt in our dirt pudding. So we're just going to chop up 1.5 cups of Oreo cookies. A little secret, if your cutting board is sliding around, place a wet or damp paper towel underneath and it won't slide anymore. You can either chop up your Oreos by hand, or you could use a bag and a rolling pin, or even a food processor. We're then going to add 1/2 cup of our chopped Oreos to the pudding. The other cup we're going to save for later on. Then we're going to add 1 container or 8 ounces of thawed Cool Whip. You want to make sure it's not still frozen. And then we're just going to mix that all together until we get an even mixture. Finally, the last step before we assemble is just to crumble our brownies that are cooled up into small pieces. To assemble, we're going to need an assortment of glass jars or containers. Mason jars work really well, but use whatever you have in your kitchen, or you could use some plastic cups. This is optional, but you're going to need your choice of Halloween decorations. I have some gummy worms, pumpkins, and then we have that 1 cup of reserved Oreo crumbs. Really get creative when you assemble these. I like to put some brownie at the bottom and then place some of my pudding mixture and then some Oreo crumbs and then layer on some of the decorations. But just again, be creative, do whatever you like. This is the fun part. Now that I have finished assembling all of my pudding cups, I'm just going to cover them in plastic wrap and place them in the refrigerator for about an hour to finish setting before digging into them. I'm going to start off by chopping up and sauteing 3 links of sausage. I like to chop mine first, and then I'm just going to pan fry it until it's golden brown, and then I'm going to transfer it to a plate to drain and cool completely. I'm going to chop up 1 cup of herbs. You can use whatever you want. I used a mixture of cilantro, parsley, and scallions. We're going to add those to a bowl with 8 ounces of cream cheese, 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese, and then our cooked sausage. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper and some garlic powder. You could also add some red pepper flakes if you like a little bit of spice. We're then just going to mix everything to combine. You want to make sure your cream cheese was at room temperature to make it easier to mix together. We're going to place our cheese in the fridge while we prep our mini peppers. We are just going to cut them in half. And then we're going to take the stems and the seeds out. I just like to rip the whole thing out with our hands. For this recipe, we're going to need about 12 sweet peppers. You could also use jalapenos if you like the spice. Don't forget to wash your peppers before you cut them. I'm just going to flour a cutting board with a little bit of flour and then open a 8-ounce package of crescent dough, and you want to make sure you have regular crescent dough, not the butter crescent dough. And then with my fingers, I'm just going to pinch together all the seams. Then very carefully with a knife or even a pizza cutter, I'm just going to cut the dough into small strips. It's okay if they fall apart a little bit. You can just use your fingers to push the dough back together. Now that our mise en place is complete, it's time to assemble. So we're just going to set ourselves up with our cut peppers, our filling, our crescent dough, and then a sheet tray lined with parchment paper. So we're just going to take a pepper and stuff it with about 1 to 2 tablespoons of filling, and then wrap the entire pepper with about 2 sheets of our crescent dough sheets. And you want to kind of alternate how you wrap the dough around the peppers to create a mummy wrapped up effect. And then we're just going to go ahead and place our peppers onto our sheet tray, and then I'm just going to keep going until all of my peppers are full. We want our crescent dough to get nice and golden brown on the top, so to achieve this, we're going to make a simple egg wash. I'm just going to beat 1 egg into a small bowl with a fork, and then using a pastry brush, I'm just going to brush the very tops of the crescent dough with a little bit of my egg wash. Bake our peppers at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 12 minutes or until the tops are golden brown. We're going to allow our peppers to cool for about 4 to 5 minutes before we actually put the eyes on. To make the eyes, I just quartered some olives and then used a little bit of sour cream or leftover cream cheese to glue them on. This is optional, but it really gives your pepper mummies a more mummy look. These mummies can be eaten hot, room temperature, or cold, and you can even reheat them up in the oven, and they'll last for about a week in an airtight container. Thank you so much for watching. I am so excited to try these sweet and salty treats. Make sure you watch the end of the video. The recipes will be linked there. Have a great Halloween. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.